Hey. We just got out of Trainwreck, and it's late.
It is too late for me.
Is it? You tired?
It's 9:30. It shouldn't be, but it is. But this movie was so good, though, you guys.
It's great. I loved it. I love this movie.
Like, I'd heard it was good, and this was better than I expected it to be.
Yeah, I heard it was really good, too. We're seeing it like a week after it came out. We're the only ones who aren't really busy this week.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is the start of the Brad and Sarah show.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be the new alternate title on IMDb. That'll be just under Brian and his asshole friends at the movies. No, this movie is really, really fucking good.
Mm-hmm. It kind of, to me, was a little reminiscent of Knocked Up, which is fine, because I adore Knocked Up.
Me too.
But it's kind of like, got the same plot points, where like a kind of, a stoner party person gets together with, you know, someone who's more straight-laced. I found Bill Hader's character far more likable than Katherine Heigl was in Knocked Up.
Yeah.
But in the same sort of like get in a relationship and then break up, and then the schlubby one cleans up their act and then they get back together. But Amy Schumer was fantastic.
They have fantastic chemistry together.
They really do. Like, I enjoyed, like, I was, when it got to the point where she goes to, like, that ball, and, like, since I've seen so many romantic comedies, I'm like, oh, okay, here's where she fucks up and they break up for a little while. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, so I don't have to watch this.
You missed his speech.
I know.
That's
I got
okay.
in trouble, too.
That's okay, she walked out during the speech, too. It's fine.
So did you miss the speech, too?
Oh yeah, I just took a 5-minute nap in the theater. No, this is really good. I mean, it's definitely a Judd Apatow movie, like you said, in comparing it to Knocked Up. Even a lot of the plot points, even in kind of like Knocked Up, where the love interest also has a job where they either work with celebrities or they work in the entertainment industry or something like that. But it worked in Knocked Up, and it works here too, because LeBron James is really funny in this.
He was adorable. And like the other sports guys were also very funny. The guy who's getting surgery on his knee.
Yeah.
Linklater. That's not right.
Richard Linklater?
Yeah, Richard Linklater. You know, the basketball player. I love sports.
That's okay, because if they didn't name the athletes in this movie, I wouldn't have known.
He's wearing a shirt with his last name on the back of it. I still can't remember. It sounded like Linklater.
There was a part when he returns to basketball and his name is like on the marquee. I can't remember what it was.
Globetrotter.
Jack Harlem Globetrotter.
Yes,
was
that
his
was it.
name.
I know from the Harlem Globetrotters.
I do know the Harlem Globetrotters. I've seen the Harlem Globetrotters a couple times. Can't remember their names either.
Sweet Georgia Brown.
It's okay. There was one part where it's when LeBron James and Bill Hader are playing basketball together, which was really funny. When LeBron James is like giving him advice and he's quoting Kanye West.
I started laughing and the girls behind me started laughing, and you're sitting there like...
I'm sitting there like, did I brain fart? What's happening? I'm like,
He was doing Gold Digger.
Going on?
He was just like quoting a verse from Gold Digger verbatim.
I had no idea. So I was like, man, the audience is really eating up LeBron giving him advice. Like... I was like, did I brain fart and like miss a setup or something like that? And then when Bill Hader mentions Kanye, I'm like, oh, okay.
I did like that they actually had because he's like, are you quoting Kanye West to me? He's like, he made a good point. I'm like, I was glad they put that in there, so it didn't seem like I was having a stroke, just like laughing at some random thing that LeBron James was saying.
No, the whole audience was. They put that in there just for me. Yep. The explanation of, are you quoting Kanye West? Oh! That's funny.
You should have actually said that really loudly.
I should have. I don't know why I didn't.
Ow, I get it!
I yelled shut up at the screen last week when Ant-Man turned into a 5-minute Baskin-Robbins commercial.
Is that why you got Baskin-Robbins yesterday?
No, I just really wanted something with cookie dough in it. And I also needed a walk.
And just for some reason, Baskin-Robbins was at the forefront of your mind.
Well, it's the
This
closest.
shit works, man.
I knew they weren't going to have it at the corner store, and last time I was in the corner store, the guys who run it got in a fight behind the counter.
Oh, creepy little dude?
Yeah.
He apparently got married. He
Did
told
he?
us last time we were in there. He's like, oh yeah, I got married. It's been like a year, man. And we're leaving and we're like, God damn it, there's two of them.
I don't like creepy little Jude. I was in there one time, he was asking me about my divorce. How he knew I got divorced, I have no idea. But he did. He was asking me about it. And he was asking when the next time Jillian's coming in. Like, I don't know.
Jillian's never coming in. You creep the fuck out of it.
Should I call her and ask her? You know, she lives just down the street. I can give you her address. I can give you her address. You can go ask her if you want.
That's the guy that when my hair was really short, I went in and he said, oh, you got your hair cut. And I'm like, oh yeah. He's like, don't worry, it'll grow back.
Oh my god. I think
Hey!
he said that to me too when I shaved my head.
Don't worry, man. It'll grow back.
You know what? Not all of it will.
That's why I shaved it, dude.
Yeah, so I wear a hat most of the time. And I just really like White Castle.
Yep.
Enough people in Springfield think I work at White Castle now.
But the girl behind the counter was asking you about it at the PetSmart.
That happens all the time. They think I work at White Castle in Springfield that doesn't have a White Castle.
Maybe they're getting their hopes up. Like, did they open a White Castle? Not noticing your head is like super old and gray.
Yeah, and I'm crushing their dreams. Like, no, I got this at Target. Sorry.
And they smack the candy out of their hands and run away.
My favorite is when they ask me that when I'm at like a McDonald's and it's the person who's working at McDonald's who's like, oh, have we gotten a White Castle? Dude, shh.
Mark, I quit!
No. Unless you're moving to Chicago or St. Louis.
I named the manager Mark.
Well, now I
Building an imaginary world.
Well, now I got White Castle on my mind.
I've got Baskin Robbins on my mind.
Oh, you'll love Ant-Man.
I need to go see it. I want to.
It's really good. We really like this movie, which is why we're talking about it.
The problem with a comedy, especially a comedy as good as this one, is you say you like it, you give the major plot points, and then we just start ruining jokes for you, and I don't want to do that because you all need to go and see it.
And then there's one part where John Cena was hilarious.
Well, the preview ruined that part.
There's that one part, though. There's so many funny moments with John Cena in this movie.
Just threatening homoerotic threats at this guy. Go in the parking lot. My fist is gonna meet your dick hole.
I will lick your ass. And there's a part where John Cena and Amy Schumer are having sex, and it's one of the funniest scenes I've seen in a movie this year, where she wants him to speak dirty talk to her, which then turns into him talking about protein and muscles and speaking Mandarin, and it is hilarious.
It is, and he ends up, she's like, just tell me about the first time we met, and he does, and then comes right at the end of the story, and I'm not gonna ruin it for you, but he's just laying on her, just like, don't touch me,
And then goes into the bathroom with the butt in the moonlight shot, and just has a hand towel hanging over his dick.
This dick is going like this.
And I'm guessing that's real.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that is 100% real.
I have to figure that was a prosthetic.
Nope. Just like Dirk Diggler's penis at the end of Boogie Nights is real, too. Oh, come on. Don't crush Mark Wahlberg's dreams. My favorite story about that is Mark Wahlberg, before he was married and he was, dating, was saying that he hoped the women he went on a date with did not see that movie first. Otherwise, it'll end in sadness. Well,
because, Amy Schumer, when she unzips this one guy's pants in the movie, she has, what is a realistic reaction to a guy with a ginormously huge dick. And she's like, is that your dick? Fucking shit.
It's like when
that cannot be your dick. All right.
It
looks like the entire cast of the Game of Thrones.
It's like when you watch John Holmes porn. Sometimes it's fine. Sometimes it just looks uncomfortable.
I'll bet.
Oh, Johnny Wad. But no, I like in this movie how really likable she is. Really, I mean, I found her to be incredible.
Yeah, she was adorable.
Yeah, and not so much a train wreck, like the title says, because I've met train wreckier people than this. But more, I mean, you know, she's
like a sex positive sort of party girl, and
yeah.
like, the main problems is like at the end of the movie she has kind of like a breakdown where she's telling us, it's like, you know, I'm broken, but she wasn't talking about her promiscuity, I don't think, or the way she was behaving, just that like the fact that she was afraid of commitment, I think was the main issue. And I think that she was smoking pot and drinking more as a like a self-medication sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely came in the movie like she wasn't into commitment, really, and that was fine, you know. She made that work for her. She likes going out for some drinks. She likes smoking some pot, but also has a full-time job. Like, she functions in her professional world just fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, kind of like Knocked Up in that regard. I mean, less that Seth Rogen was necessarily like...
Yeah, Seth Rogen was not nearly as functional, because he was trying to get that stupid website started.
Yeah, until they...
smoking pot in the backyard with his friends and spending his frickin' settlement money.
I've got $5,000 left. They'll easily carry me the next 10 years. What? Oh no, and then they found out Mr. Skin exists.
No!
So she functions more so than him. But also, like, similar moments where they're throwing their bongs away and stuff like that, and,
Because, like, again, the comparison, I think, falls short there, because, like, he threw his bong and stuff away, not because it wasn't working for him anymore, because he was, you know, wanting to be more responsible as a parent, and he got a different job, so that he could support a family, whereas I feel like she got a different job because, first of all, she got fired.
Yeah.
And second of all, it's because it was something that would be more fulfilling to her as a person. You know? So I think in that sense, this movie went further than Knocked Up did in terms of character development.
Yeah, because in Knocked Up, I mean, Rogen's throwing the bongs away and stuff like that, and it comes across more so like, okay, he's just not going to do this like 24/7. I'm pretty sure it still showed him smoking some pot later. He was just kind of like, okay, I'm just not going to do this all the time.
Just gonna, because like for me, I think that there's like, if you had a graph, okay, and over here is like, you know, doesn't smoke at all, and over here is career stoner. It plateaus sharply at bong ownership. I'm drawing the graph wrong, I know, but I think I'm getting my point across.
No,
the second you own a bong, you're like, yes, I spoke pot.
I need this contraption from the future to help me do so.
I'm going to put this in a place of honor in my house.
And name it.
Name it Dr. Bongenstein.
And this one, she gives it all away to Dave Attell. So it works out.
I love that Dave Attell showed up in this movie, and he has lost some weight, because I did not recognize him at first, but then he started talking. I'm like, that's fucking Dave Attell.
He's this homeless guy who, he's in it for a couple of scenes, and they have some funny back and forth together, and then she gives, like, her booze and her, pot and stuff like that to him in a box, so as he puts it, you know, oh man, I got some drugs, some booze, and a new place to live. He was really sad because they just towed away the car that he liked to shit in.
He's fairly happy-go-lucky as panhandlers go.
Right? Why aren't they like that around here?
Some of them are.
I've yet to meet one.
The ones, I find that in Springfield, the homeless people are either verbally abusive, and those are not my favorites, or the, just like, I think that crazy, but in a more cheerful way. Like, walks up to you and starts telling you the story of their life.
Every time they come up to me and tell me a story, it's always bullshit. Like, I'll give them some money if, like, they're like, dude, man, you know what? I just really need a drink. Like, oh, all right. Okay. Not like, oh, man, I'm in from, like, Vegas and, like, my bus broke down and, you know, I need something to put in my car so I can drive to, like, Missouri. Like, I don't believe you, sir.
The stories I get aren't nearly that cohesive. Mostly they're, like, tangentially related to the money that they're asking me to give them. Just like, you know, telling stories about that guy over there who stole his spot, and like how he's walked like 3 miles in the rain today. I gave that guy my umbrella, and he got mad at me.
I gave one girl money one time just because her performance was Oscar worthy. Like, it was insane. This was a few years ago, and this was like, oh God, what's she saying? She was saying something about, it was probably something about her car breaking down or something like that. I don't know, but there were tears involved.
Oh my gosh.
like she was seriously going for a gold statue. And I'm like,
Started showering her with money and roses.
yeah. Like, if I had an award on me, I would have given it to her.
The first time I ever gave money to a homeless person, I was walking to school, and this guy came up and he asked me for some change, and I had $1, and I'm like, do you promise to spend this on food? And he's like, totally. And so I kept walking, and then I get to the White Hen Pantry, and I turn in to like buy myself some candy, and he's standing like in the booze aisle, holding a booze. Sets it down, walks over to the produce like, yes. And I'm like, whatever.
Fine.
At least he cared enough to be ashamed.
My least favorite was the guy who walked into my house. I didn't like that guy very much.
That guy I only heard about after the fact. I'm glad you guys started locking your door. Nick had to chase him out with a knife.
Yeah, I didn't like that guy very much. I used to like him because he, like, shoveled my steps, like, a few days prior, and I guess that was an invitation to walk in the house.
Yes,
I don't know.
You should have known better.
I really, really should have. Thank God Nick was there, otherwise Lloyd would have had to chase him out with a knife.
So, Trainwreck.
Oh, right.
It had some really great cameos in it that I enjoyed. There was one scene where they stage an intervention, and it's LeBron, some sports lady, probably.
I think so. I wasn't sure.
What turned out to be Matthew Broderick playing Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
And Marv?
Marv Albert. I
Albert.
almost said Merv Griffin. That's not right.
I almost said Merv Griffin. What's up?
Nice. Props, Merv Griffin.
He was like commentating the intervention. But yeah, I thought Matthew Broderick did a really good job.
That was a funny scene, and like, Apatow works really well in that because his movies, they do tend to be long. Like, all the ones I can think of are over 2 hours long, and a lot of them do have scenes in them where, if you wanted to make it shorter, you could. Like, there are scenes that you, in any of his movies, that you could easily cut out just for the sake of time, but they're funny. Like, the intervention scene probably didn't need to be there.
Nope.
Like, in any way, shape, or form, it really didn't need to be there. But I laugh, so I don't care. Like, the 10-minute scene of, like, Paul Rudd and Seth Rogen playing video games in 40-Year-Old Virgin technically didn't need to be there, but they're funny. They're making this scene work. I don't care that it's there. It's kind of like, all right, we're seeing these people's entire world outside of the plot that's going on in it. And I like that. I like Judd Apatow's stuff. I mean, he really lets... like, this one has a screenwriting credit to Amy Schumer. The rest of his movies typically have a screenwriting credit that's him, or, like, I think Steve Carell was co-writer on 40-Year-Old Virgin, but, you know, a lot of them, they certainly do have a script, but also there's a lot of heavy ad-libbing going on in his movies. And you can tell, but it's great because he directs these actors so well that even when, like, you can kind of tell that there's some ad-libbing going on, it doesn't take you out of it at all. They still seem like they're characters. They still, it feels genuine. Like, hell, there's a scene in this movie where, I forget what was said, but it ends with a character just kind of bursting out laughing in a way that they probably wouldn't have if they didn't see the line coming. And it works because they still definitely feel like they're characters. It's not like that, the kind that I usually don't particularly like all that much. I mean, it can work, but like the line-orama type stuff that you see in, like, I don't know, any movie Ken Jeong is in. Which at one point, like, that gimmick was, like, kind of charming, but then it turned into, okay, you just didn't know what line to pick. So you're putting in all of them. And there was nothing in this movie that really took me out of the movie like that, that really annoyed me like that. And honestly, I can say that about most of Judd Apatow's movies.
Yeah, because like there were a couple scenes where Amy Schumer was kind of like riffing on what was happening.
Yeah.
But it worked for her character, because her character definitely used humor as like a defense mechanism. And there were definitely some points where like the other characters kind of like burst out laughing, and you were like, is that character or is that the actor? But again, it worked, because if that character were to like burst out laughing in that genuine way, it would make sense, because it seems like even though this woman's kind of, acerbic and mean sometimes, everyone still adores her.
And her character is trying to be funny. It's not like it's a blooper that they just kept in the movie where they said something that the character wasn't intending to be funny, but then somebody laughs. It's not like that. It's not like that at all. Like, hell, for all I know, she really was trying to dunk that basketball at the end and then just fell face first in the thing. Hell, there was one shot where the basketball players were going up to the hoop where it looked like one of them broke their leg. Yeah,
that leg definitely bounced off of the rim. I don't think that was supposed to happen.
Wow, like, Judd Apatow really wants people to ad-lib in this. Break your fucking leg. It cuts over to Bill Hader, who's, ooh, shit. God, I fucking love Bill Hader.
Me too. I was listening to it because he did that Stefan character.
Yeah.
And I was listening to an old episode of Comedy Bang Bang, and John Mulaney was on talking about, because he wrote a lot of the lines for that character, and he was talking about how he'd like change lines at the very last second to try and make Bill Hader like break character.
Really?
So he'd like, it just, like, as he's about to go out, just hand him a note card that says the club owner's name is Baloney Danza.
Is that why you'd see him kind of lose his shit a little bit? Nice. Bill Hader is, first of all, one of the best SNL cast members of, like, the past 30 years.
Oh, I completely agree.
Like, by far. Hell, one of his best characters on there is Lindsey Buckingham. And he doesn't say a word as Lindsey Buckingham. I love that so much. Have you seen those?
No.
It's a series of sketches that Kenan Thompson does, where he's like the host of this talk show, and it's called like What Up With That or something like that, where he's just interviewing random people, but he never really lets them finish. Like, they'll get a word out, but then he'll break into song about it. But that's not even the best part of the sketches, is because it's like a panel, and like, it's usually different people as like a couple of guests, but then there's always Bill Hader as Lindsey Buckingham of Fleetwood Mac. Always there. It never gets to him to answer a question. He's just there for some reason as Lindsey Buckingham, and it's one of the funniest fucking things.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
That's what makes those sketches work, is him, and he doesn't say a goddamn word in the whole thing. Did you ever see the sketch where it was him doing this kind of 40-some-year-old dude, like kind of balding, and he was like a co-host of Sports Center, and Charles Barkley was the host on this episode, and it was Charles Barkley playing Shaq, and then I think like Jay Farrow playing somebody else, and Kenan Thompson was there, and then Bill Hader, and then towards the end of it, Bill Hader just ad-libs, "We're all black friends." Trying not to lose their shit is amazing.
That's the reason I think I liked this movie so much, is because like them as a couple, I was genuinely rooting for.
Oh god, hardcore. They have amazing chemistry in this movie. Bill Hader is a fantastic romantic lead in this.
He really, like, I wouldn't have seen it, but it really works.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're age appropriate.
Yeah.
And they're, kind of the same amount of good lookingness, you know?
And he's sweet in the movie. Like, he's really charming. Like, when you first see him, he's kind of this, like, kind of goofy doctor in the movie, who's a little awkward, but not, like, super severe awkward or anything like that. But then there's that moment where he's, putting stitches and Colin Quinn's eye, and he's being really charming and like really cool and like kind of trying to distract Colin Quinn so he can get the stitch as I'm mimicking over my actual scar. Yeah. Actually, Colin Quinn was really good in this.
Colin Quinn was fantastic.
Yeah.
And not just that he was funny, but also that you bought him as like an old person, if that makes sense. Like someone of a mentality and physique that would be in an assisted living home. So, like, he was doing specific things with his hands.
Yeah, I noticed that,
and,
too.
And, like, he had kind of, like, a slump to give you the impression that he wasn't completely aware of what was going on, you know?
And like, it's what
It was a little heartbreaking, sorry.
It totally was, and, I don't know how to get into this without getting into spoilers. Alright, spoilers. Spoilers at his character's funeral scene, when Amy Schumer is given this eulogy and she's talking about how, you know, here's a guy who's offended all of them and was kind of an asshole and stuff like that, but she said, like, you know, raise your hand if you did really love this guy. And every scene he's in, you totally buy that because he is playing an asshole in the movie, but he's funny, and you get why somebody would be kind of charmed by this kind of offensive old dude, you know, in like just offensive older New Yorker guy kind of way. Like, he's funny, he's an asshole, but he's funny.
Talking about the Orientals.
God. No, I like Colin Quinn, honestly. And it was cool seeing him in something good. Usually when I see him in something, it's terrible.
Oh, what all has he been in?
What is the last fucking thing? The one that's coming to me off the top of my head is like Night at the Roxbury. I know he pops up in like a lot of either the SNL movies or like maybe some Happy Madison movies and shit like that. Like he was maybe, for all I know, he was in like fucking, what was that Nick Swartzen one? Like Dickie Roberts, Born to Be I don't even know if he was in that. He might have been in that. It seems like something I would have seen him in.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if he was in Dirty Work, because I can't remember, but it seems like the kind of movie he would have been in. I
know, like it's like I'm listing a filmography in my head of things he might have been in. He might have been in Joe Dirt, for all I can remember. Haven't seen that in 12 years.
Maybe he was the dad? I don't remember.
In Joe Dirt? Mm-hmm. Maybe. I can't remember. Although I don't know if I buy Colin Quinn as like a southern redneck. No, that accent. I liked his show. He had that show that was...
Tough Crowd with Colin Quinn?
Uh-huh. I liked that. That it was politically incorrect if Colin Quinn hosted it. Mm-hmm. And Nick DiPaolo would show up to be an asshole.
See, that's the reason I didn't like that show very much.
Is because of Nick DiPaolo.
I did some of the guests that he had on. I didn't much care for.
Yeah, there would. Yeah, that would be one of those. Like, like any of those shows, honestly, when you got like a panel show and whether it's done comedically or whether it's done as a straight news show, and you got like the whole panel thing going on. Every now and then you'll have that episode where you're like, I don't like that dude. I don't know if I'm gonna watch this episode.
Well, because I love comedians, but there's like a specific brand of comedian that I just don't much care for.
Like what?
That's like mean and mean spirited and like shock jockey and like your Nick DiPaolo, Rich Voss, Jim Norton.
Oh.
Ralphie May to some extent. Some of his stuff does make me laugh, but just that mean-spirited Lisa Lampanelli.
Oh,
Pretty much if you've done a roast happily and regularly, I probably don't like you.
You're not a Jeff Ross man?
No.
All of those guys I can think of, Nick DiPaolo, I mean, Nick DiPaolo's funny when he popped up on Louie. He was good on there, but he's not really a comedian that I said. Admittedly, I would admit that that's probably just a bias thing, but like, some of those comedians though, like Jeff Ross and some of those, I can think of plenty of moments where they made me laugh, even though I don't necessarily seek out maybe like the roasts and stuff like that, because I'm not that I dislike like the idea of a roast or roasts in general. It's just the Comedy Central ones are always like let's make fun of all of these other people and then also the person we're supposed to make fun of. Like, there's too much of that shit. It's like 45 minutes of like, and then Lisa Lampanelli, blah,
She
blah.
sure does like having sex with black guys.
Yeah, like this for like 45 minutes, and then here's like 15 minutes worth of jokes about like James Franco, because that's who we're supposed to be roasting. Whatever. But so you're also not a Dice Man fan either?
We've had this conversation.
I'm just trying to think of other like raunchy comedians.
Some movie that he did that you say
Which
I need
one?
to watch. The one I need to watch. Apparently.
Oh, The Adventures of Ford Fairlane?
Yes.
Oh, it's a good movie.
I don't wanna.
I don't think you'll like it.
I don't wanna.
Unless your problem with Andrew Dice Clay is that you watch his stand-up and you're like, man, I would love this guy if he were a rock and roll detective. If that's your problem with him, you'd love this movie.
Okay, well now I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
What do you mean a rock and roll detective?
That's his job. He's a rock and roll detective.
Is it a musical?
No, not really. I mean,
now you've lost me again.
there's probably like some music in it, but it's not a musical. I can't even remember what the case in the movie was, but like he's like Ace Ventura, except like instead of investigating pets, he's investigating like stuff with like rock and roll stars. And the villain is Wayne Newton, who's legitimately intimidating in the movie. And his sidekick is this S&M wearing Robert Englund in the movie. Oh, and the hard edge cop who hates Ford Fairlane is Ed O'Neill, who was a former disco star in the 70s, whose hit song was It's Booty Time. And at the end,
how does that go again?
Booty time, it's booty time. At the end, he sings it.
Okay, maybe I'll just watch that part. It's not like the raunchiness, because some of my favorite comedians are filthy as fuck. It's like, it's the mean-spirited,
Oh, I get you.
saying stuff just to shock you. Because, like, Mike Kaplan's got a special on. The entire last section of it is him teaching the audience about fisting. You know, that does not bother me.
Oh, yeah.
It's, going on about the Jews for no other reason, because you think if the audience is shocked, they will start laughing.
You're breaking Irving's heart right now.
Probably.
For me, it's like, that kind of is like anything. As long as it's funny, I'm fine. Like, for me, that's kind of like any other joke. Like, when it works, and when it doesn't, you can tell it doesn't. Like you could tell it doesn't. So for me, it's kind of like, whatever. Like,
the only person that can get away with it, in my opinion, is Louis C.K. When he does it, I laugh. And I think it's because he's just as self-deprecating, but the problem is Jim Norton is also just as self-deprecating, and I hate him. So it's just, it's one of those things like, yeah, if it works, it works. And
yeah.
for me, if it doesn't, it doesn't, and I hate that person forever.
And then I'm just not much of a fan of that person.
Nope, not much of a fan is like the worst thing I'll say about a person. Which is funny, and also true.
Maybe some F-bombs thrown in there.
Fucking not much of a fan.
Fucking not much of a fucking fan. Sorry.
They're not my bag.
Not my cup of tea.
I say good day, sir.
We got a bunch of trailers in front of it.
Final thoughts, go watch.
Sorry.
Go watch the movie.
Final thoughts.
It's hilarious. Go watch it.
Very, very,
I plan
very
on
funny.
buying it when it's on DVD just because I want to see the blooper reel. I think it'll be hilarious. Scout's Guide to Zombie Apocalypse. Is that the name of that movie?
Yes, some stupid...
They played like 3 trailers for it.
Yeah, they did, and they were like 10 seconds long each, and they kept playing it throughout the trailers in this, and... I'm so over zombie shit. I don't fucking care.
It seems like the trailers didn't even show zombie. It was just the scouts dicking around and making condom jokes, which... Maybe I'm getting too old to watch little boys talk about condoms?
Too old for this shit. If I want that, I'll watch Losing It with Tom Cruise back in the day.
I as well will watch that movie I'm only hearing about just now.
You never saw Losing It?
Losing It?
Losing It. It's an early Tom Cruise movie with Cruise
maybe you did make me watch that movie. Where they're like playing poker downstairs and his friends are trying to...
Was there also a scene like that in Risky Business? Where they're
Maybe
playing
there was
poker?
also a scene
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
there's a poker scene in Risky Business.
Okay, then I'm just thinking of Risky Business again. Which I saw in theaters.
Risky Business is awesome. Losing It's good. It's like him and Shelley Long, and they're like going out, and like Tom Cruise and his friends are going out and like trying to get losing it. You know, the title. Yeah, that's what it's about.
The end all be all for teenage boys. The Gift.
I really want to see this movie.
Oh, okay. It took me. There's so many like generic titles in this run.
Yeah, I don't like the title.
This is the one where I think I actually said that when I liked fucking generic title. It's like in 1990, a nurse was prosecuted for poisoning a woman to death because she'd stolen her boyfriend 20 years later.
Like, I hadn't seen this trailer for it before, so like, I mean, I've seen other trailers for this movie, but yeah, when the thing at the beginning is like, what is this? Is this like another trailer for Sinister 2 or something? Or some ghost horror movie? And then it's a trailer for The Gift. I'm like, alright, cool, I really want to see this. But like, it shouldn't be called The Gift. Throughout the whole trailer, trailers 1, generic, and 2 makes me think of the Sam Raimi movie, The Gift, which is a good movie, but throughout the trailer, they're like, Gordo, hey Gordo, I don't know if we should trust Gordo, and stuff like that. Like,
name it like, don't trust Gordo.
Yeah, or like, yeah, don't trust Gordo, or just Gordo, or
Gordo's
whatever.
watching you. Because that one scene where she like wipes off the steam from the window and Gordo's just like...
2 for Gordo's watching you. I'm gonna do that anyway.
Gordo's watching apostrophe you exclamation point.
I'm just sold on Jason Bateman's psychological thriller. Sweet.
I can get behind that. And it's
Yeah.
like the scene where she's like, what did you do to him? And he gets like this look on his face. I feel like it's gonna, whatever it was, it's gonna be brutal.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, towards the end of this, is this gonna be like Joel Edgerton is the hero of this movie, and like Jason Bateman ran a snuff racket in high school, or some really dark shit?
That'll be a twist I wouldn't have seen coming.
And I just spoiled it.
It'll be like that movie where Nicole Kidman lost her memory that we watched.
Oh yeah, that was Before I Go to Sleep.
Yes.
I was just reminded of that movie the other day when I was downloading videos off of Blip, and I was like, Before I Go to Sleep. Oh, that movie!
That's a movie I forgot about a month after I watched it, but it's still like every once in a while it's like, Colin Firth beat the shit out of her, that one scene.
The only scene of that movie that was memorable.
Well, there was that scene, and there was the later scene where they were just bludgeoning each other with objects.
Yeah. Like, okay, this movie just woke me up all of a sudden.
Okay, Ricky and the Flash.
Yeah.
We're done talking about Ricky and the Flash. Joy.
Oh, I want to see that.
No idea what that movie's about.
Me neither, but it's like whenever I see like a first trailer for, or like a teaser trailer for a David O. Russell movie, like with American Hustle, where it's like, I don't know what that's about, but I really want to see that.
Well, plus it seems like it's the same people as I just recently watched Silver Linings Playbook on Netflix.
Right on.
So it's, it's her and him and him. So I don't know, I'll watch it.
Yeah, me too.
No idea what it's about, but I'll watch it.
No clue.
Maybe it's a sequel, the Silver Linings Playbook. It should change her name to Joy.
And it's shotgun wielding now.
Yep. She gets married in the 70s. Maybe it's a time travel movie. Oh, Vacation. That movie is not my cup of tea.
That looks like a piece of shit.
The thing is, there are some parts of the preview that made me laugh, that were like, as they were flashing past, but I know if I had to like sit white-knuckled in the theater and watch that scene play out, I would fucking hate it. And I can't tell if that's because I hate that kind of movie or if it's because it's going to be objectively bad.
It looks like a completely different kind of movie than the other movies. It's like, I don't know what you call this kind of movie. Like, it's it's not a remake, but it's a reboot, but it's the same continuity. It's the same, it's not...
I feel like it's supposed to be like a sequel.
Yeah,
because,
it's like...
he's the kid all grown up.
He's the kid all grown up, and Chevy Chase is still there, but it's like, okay, the first one was certainly an R, and the first one had some raunchy moment, like when he eats the sandwich that the dog peed on and stuff like that, but this looks... But that was just kind of like, he takes a bite out of the sandwich, and they're like, oh god, the dog went in the picnic basket, and he spits it out, but the joke was less, it's funny just because he's biting into a piss sandwich, but also he was trying to be smooth and flirting with, like, Christy Brinkley, like, while he was doing this, and then like that.
You deserved that.
Yeah. This just looks like...
like in a lake full of raw sewage, and Christina Applegate's like rubbing what turns out to be shit all over her face.
It could be human waste too. Like what? Like now we're going into like just like dick fart and shit jokes in a vacation movie. Like
Sean Astin eating that dog turd American Wedding. Not Sean Astin.
Oh, Sean William Scott.
Yes.
But I mean, at least those movies are consistently raunchy. Like, from the first one all the way to the third one. I don't know about the direct-to-video movies, or the fourth one. I never saw the fourth one either. But those were at least consistently really raunchy.
As far as I'm concerned, only the 3 movies.
Did you see American Wedding?
Yeah.
Oh, I never saw it. Oh, wait. No, American Wedding was... American Reunion is the one I didn't see.
Ah.
Or the direct-to-video ones. I didn't see those either.
Because, yeah, it's 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and at the time, I remember liking those movies. I don't know how they age, but at the time, I liked them. But
I liked them, which was surprising.
This is like you have a series of vacation movies, and then one of them is an American Pie movie. Uh-huh. Okay.
The 90s are back in again.
This is true. I have been watching a lot of Friends lately.
Okay, Crimson Peak.
That looks good.
I want to go see that one. It's like an oldie time horror movie that's got Loki and 2 girls.
It looks like Smart Woman in Black. Like, it's that kind of like old timey looking kind of horror movie with like a castle and stuff like that.
It's like a dude and his sister, and then the dude like marries this waifish blonde woman, and him and his sister are like plotting something, and the waifish blonde woman can see ghosts, and I'm like, yay!
Although Guillermo del Toro titles are starting to be kind of similar to each other now. Pacific Rim, Crimson Peak.
Crimson Peak. Sisters.
What?
Sisters? Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. Which
I don't know about that.
I like Tina Fey and Amy Poehler.
That movie, like, that trailer, just
them, but that trailer, it makes the movie look
awful.
Yes,
it looks like I can't even remember what it was about. I don't even know if I could tell you what it was about from the trailer. It just looked like
it's about 2 sisters their parents. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, all I was gonna say is it just looked like Tina Fey and Amy Poehler are doing stuff.
They kind of are doing stuff. Interspersed is like this plot where they're 2 sisters whose parents sold their childhood home, which no one has ever suffered this outrage. And so Tina Fey was like the wild child sister, and Amy Poehler was kind of like the straight-laced perfectionist sister who apparently broke up with some guy 6 years ago and hasn't had sex since. And when Tina Fey was in high school, she had all these like wild parties, and well, Amy Poehler didn't because she was like in band camp or whatever. And so like, before they sell the house, we're gonna have this wild party for you, Amy Poehler, and you should invite this guy that you've got a crush on. And they have a wild party and shit goes sour. I don't need to see the movie.
No, especially when one of the first jokes in it is them going up to the guy trimming the hedges, and they're like, "You want to take care of our bush too? We got a bush over here." Like I've seen this joke before. It was in Tyler Perry's Single Moms Club. Like, I don't know about this.
And that's the thing, is that like, Amy Poehler then says, "Oh, you know, I turned that dirty too fast," and that part is funny, but it's the kind of funny that implies like a terrible script that is saved at parts by the really good ad-libbing of Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. Yeah. And I have no interest in watching that movie. I'll just go watch 30 Rock and Parks and Rec again.
Yeah, exactly. The last movie I know of those 2 being in together was Baby Mama.
Baby Mama. And like, I was talking to David about it, and he's like, I had forgotten that movie existed until you mentioned it. I didn't see Baby Mama. I remember the cover. Likewise for Date Night.
Oh, I forgot about Date Night.
You sure did.
Yeah, I did forget about that movie. Yeah, that movie was a thing.
Yeah, I love Steve Carell and I love Tina Fey, but it looked dumb, so I didn't go see it. It's so hot in this car.
I love Steve Carell too.
Steve Carell, so good. We're gonna go, you guys, so I can open the windows.
Sure.
Bye.